Okay, shall I start now? So our next heading is projectile from what? Height. So in projectile from height, we are going to learn what? Three different forms. Okay, or three different types. First is what? For example, consider this is your height, and from this height, I can throw either the object in this direction, option number 1, or option number 2, I can throw the object in the upward direction, yes or no, or either I will be throwing the object in the downward direction. Okay, so we are not going to derive the different formula. With the help of equation of motion, we will follow all these steps. Okay, so we will calculate everything for a particular cases. So write down the heading, projectile from what? Height, and that in that write the first one, that is case 1, case 1, case 1, projectile or object projected horizontally. That means, can I say theta is equals to 0 degree here? Shall I? Now, no one will be writing unless I ask you to write. Got my point? Okay, just everyone focus on the board now. Consider this is the height h. And let us take the values also. Why? Because I am not going to do one with normal and one with what? Values. Okay. So, consider the height of the tower is given, building is given 80 meter per second. So now if I project the object in this direction, what is the velocity along y-axis? 0. Very good. What is the velocity along x-axis? Let's say velocity along x-axis is given 50 meter per second. So can I say that from a height of 80 meter, an object is being projected horizontally where theta is 0 na? Are yes or no? So if theta is 0 and object is being projected with what? 50 meter per second. Will this object go in a straight line? Obviously no. It will follow the parabolic path and it will be following this direction. Are yes or no? Where it lands on the ground, that is nothing but from the from the tower to the where it lands, it is what called as range. We already know about this also. Similarly, from where we are projecting, from where the object is being projected, that should be considered as 0, 0. And this is the point of projection and this is the point of what? Landing. And from point of projection to landing, we call that as what? Range. Acha, from here, if object is being projected, so what is the displacement along y-axis? Can I say minus of 80? Why? Because all the things which are considered below the point of projection are negative, above positive. At any point, where is the g acting? So g is acting in the downward direction only, na? So g at any point is acting in the downward direction, and acceleration along x-axis is always equal to what? 0. So can I write over here, acceleration along x-axis is always 0, acceleration along y-axis is always minus g, and in this case, can I say ux is nothing but ux only, and that value is what? 50 meter per second. So ux is not changing and ux is not us cos theta this time. Why? Because it is been incident or projected at an angle what? 0 degree. Similarly, can I also say that uy here is 0. Okay, with these things we will going to calculate everything. So let us calculate first the time period. If I want to calculate the time period, generally I will be using what? SY equation na? To calculate what? Time period. So can I use to calculate what time? I am using what? SY. So SY is nothing but UYT plus of half of AYT square. Yes or no? What is the displacement along x-axis? Y-axis? That is 80. Below the line, that is negative. So can I write over here that as minus of h? Minus of what? H. Or this can also be written as, what is the velocity along y-axis? Initial velocity? 0. So this can be cancelled out. So left out is what? Minus of half of gt square. Or can I cancel this minus and minus? Left out is what? T square, which is equals to 2h upon g, or t is nothing but 2h upon g. Sorry, under the root 2h upon g. Can I say that? Can I also say that this time period t is equals to under the root 2h upon g is also equal to when the object is being dropped from a height h? Vertical motion mein yaad karo. When object is being dropped from a height h, we got a time period here also under the root of 2h upon g. Are yes or no? So can I say that if there is a tower, if you project the object from the same height in this direction with initial velocity u, it will land, or it will take the same time period for the dropping object. So the time of flight for this object and the time of flight for this object are same. Can I say that? Okay. Similarly, let us try to substitute the values in our equation. If I substitute the value in this equation, or without deriving this equation, we can also substitute that. So let us try to substitute from here only. Okay. So Sy is nothing but what? Minus times of 80, which is equals to minus times of half into 10 t square. Without deriving this, we can also substitute the values from directly here. Okay, so can I say this negative and this negative cancel, and this 0 zeros get cancelled, and left out is what? 8 into 2, that is 16, is equals to what? T square, or t is nothing but 4 seconds. 4 seconds. So what is the time of flight here? 4 seconds. Substitute here also, you will be getting what? The same value. So 2 into what? 80, 160 upon 10, 16 under the root. Are yes or no? Okay. So time of flight when the object is being thrown horizontally from a height is always equal to time of flight from the same height if the object is being dropped. Are I got my point? Now note down this. Okay, shall I? So what is the time of flight we got? Time of flight is nothing but 4 seconds we got, na? Let us move to the next part now. So let us calculate the range. Let us calculate what here? Range. Now to calculate the range, generally we use Sx. So if Sx is nothing but uxt plus of half of axt square. What is the acceleration along x-axis? 0. So this whole term got 0. Sx is nothing but your range. Range is nothing but ux. Here the ux is nothing but what? U. So can I say u into t? So this is the equation we can substitute, u into t. Now if I substitute from here also directly, then can I get range is nothing but ux is what? 50, and time period how much we got? 4. That means range is equals to, can I say, 200 meters. Range is what? 200 meters. Similarly, what will be the h max here now? Can I say that the height of the building itself is acting as the h max? Why? Because after releasing, this object will be going in the downward direction only. So this is the highest point for the h max. So can I say that the third point, h max is nothing but height of the building itself, that is nothing but what? 80 meters, and it is in the downward direction. So minus 80 meters. Okay, still don't write. So second, we have calculated what? Time period, and we have calculated what? Range, and we got range is equals to how much? That is 200 meters. Yes or no? Similarly, let us try to calculate what? The other thing. Fourth, if they ask, find out the velocity at any time t. Find out the velocity at any time t. Let's say consider 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds. Let's take 2 seconds. So finding velocity at t is equals to, let's say, 2 seconds. Okay. If I want to find the velocity at t is equals to 2 seconds, we already know that velocity along x-axis never changes. Yes or no? So velocity along x-axis, that is Vx, is always equals to Ux, and Ux value is how much? 50 meter per second. So this value is unchanged. Left out is what? Vx. So calculating the Vx value. So Vy is equals to nothing but Uy minus of Gt. Initial velocity in this case is 0 along y-axis. So can I say that Vy is nothing but minus of 10 into, let's say, time period we have chose 2 seconds. So velocity along y direction is minus of 20 meter per seconds. What does this minus says? In the downward direction. Yes or no? They can ask you to calculate alpha also, what angle it is making. Yes or no? So we can calculate the tan of alpha. So tan of alpha is nothing but Vy upon Vx. Vy upon Vx. And what is the value of Vy? We got minus of 20 and Vx is what? 50. So can I say that it is nothing but alpha is equals to tan inverse. So नीचे लिख देता हूँ. Alpha is nothing but tan inverse of minus 2 upon 5. Yes or no? Okay. They can ask you to write the same thing in vector form. They can ask you na. So if I want to write the same thing in vector form, then can I write V is nothing but Vx I cap plus of Vy j cap. Yes or no? Or V can be written as Vx. What is the velocity along x-axis? That is 50 meter per second. So can I say that 50 I cap and velocity along y-axis we got what? Minus of 20 minus 20 j cap. This is how we will be writing in vector form. They can also ask you to write the or find the magnitude of velocity at 2 seconds. So finding the magnitude at 2 seconds, then we can write that V is nothing but mod of under the root of Vx square plus of Vy square. And this can be written as Vx square is how much? 50 square. And this is nothing but 20. So under the root of, can I say 50 square plus of 20 square. Solving this will provide you velocity at that particular point. That means speed. Can I say that? Now you can write. Okay, shall I? Next, they can ask you find out the velocity at particular height h, or they can ask you find out the alpha at particular height h. Even though we can find that by using what v square minus u square is equals to 2as formula. So we know that already Vx is unchanged. Vx is unchanged at any point. So can I say that Vy is nothing but under the root of v uy square uy square plus of 2ay sy. Can I write like this? Okay, then substituting the values, we know that this becomes 0 again. If this becomes 0, left out is what? Under the root of 2gh. 2gh. Let's say they are asking to calculate you at 20 meter. Above the height 20 meter. So what we are finding now? Velocity at height is equals to 20 meter. Let's say 20, 30, 40, whatever you want to take, you can. Okay, now, so substituting the value of h here. One more thing, point to be remembered. So if they are asking 20 meter, that means we are calculating 20 meter from here to here 20 meter. They can also say that find out the velocity at any point, at any height that is 60 meter above the ground. That means you have to consider from here. Left out is what? Total building height 880. They can provide you 60, they can provide you 50, they can provide you 40, whatever it may be. So while substituting in that h, always we are calculating from 0, 0. Remember this. Okay. Last year one guy made a mistake. Okay. Now, so Vy is nothing but under the root of what? 2gh. That means, can I say 2 into 10 into h value is what in the downward direction? Still how much I selected? 20 na? So 20. Achha, what is this Vy? Where is it is? Downward direction, upward direction? Downward. So can I substitute negative from here to here? Yes or no? So Vy is nothing but, can I say 20, that is minus of 20 meter per second. I got my point. Similarly, we can also write Vx also. Vx is always same, that is 50 meter per second. This value is unchanged always. Yes or no? Okay. Calculating the tan alpha. So tan of alpha is equals to kitna hai? Vy upon Vx. That is nothing but minus of 20 upon 50. अरे ये same आ गया रे दोनों भी. So alpha is nothing but tan inverse of minus 2 upon 5. I got my point. Similarly, one more thing they can ask. They can ask you, find out the coordinate. Find out the coordinate at any time t. So let's say 2 seconds. let's say 2 seconds. That means what we need to do, we should be using what, Sx and Sy. If I want to use Sx and Sy, then find what, coordinate, let's say at any time t. Okay, now Sx, if they are asking for time, then we will be using what, Sx is nothing but uxt plus of half of ax t square, and this becomes what, 0. We already know that. Yes or no? Substituting this value, that is x is equals to initial velocity, that is 50, into time, let's say 2 second, 3 second, 3 le lo. Okay, so 3, that means this becomes 3 and this is obviously 0. This is nothing but 150 meters. Range देखो अभी भी 200 है. Okay, if you substitute 5 means out of the range. I got my point. And similarly, y is can be calculated from again the same equation, but over here y becomes uy becomes 0. So uyt plus of half of ay t square, this becomes 0 this time. I got my point. Or y is nothing but this is nothing but half of into 10 time we took 3 seconds. Now here at t we are calculating for 3 seconds. So 3 square, that is what, 9. 2 ones 5, that is 45. So y is equals to minus times of 45 meter. That means x comma y is how much? 150 comma 45. Okay. So these are the things. Similarly, also they can ask you find out the coordinate at any time at any height h. That means, can I say that y is directly given? At any height h from the ground means y is given. All you need to calculate what, Sx. Then if I say from any height h, find coordinate at any height h. That means h will be provided definitely. So just substituting the value of what, s, say 30 meters. 30 meter, 40 meter, whatever you want to say. So h is given like 40 meters. But where will be this object at 40 meter? You have to calculate the time first. I got my point. So you need to calculate what time. We will see this in the next instance. First write down this. Okay, shall I now? The next is, they can ask you find the coordinate at any height h. So let us find that. Find coordinate at any height h. Let's say the value is kitna lo re? 20 le lo. Already we have calculated for 20 now. We will. Okay, just say 20 meter from origin. From what? 0, 0. Finding the height from 0, 0. Now, you have height, neither you have the velocity. Yes or no? First, you need to calculate what is the velocity at y. Then and then only we can calculate what time period. So let us calculate the y first. So Vy can be written as Vy square minus of Uy square is equals to 2Ay Sy. This one is known. Yes or no? So can I say that in this case, this one is 0. Initial velocity in y direction is 0. So left out is what? Vy square is equals to, can I write 2 into 10 into height is given, that is 20 meter. This one is also negative, this one is also negative. I got my point. So can I say that under the root Vy we get 20 meter per second, that to be in negative direction. It will be providing two roots. Yes or no? In this case, object is not going in the upward direction. Definitely we have to select what? Negative value. Okay. Now Vy is what? How much we got? 20 meter per second. Similarly, from here, can we calculate the time period? Yes. So Vy is nothing but Uy minus of gt. Can I say this one is again 0 this time? Uy is what? Minus of 20, which is equals to minus of 10t. So time we got 2 seconds. Time we got what? 2 seconds. All you need to what? Substitute what? In Sx. So Sx is nothing but ut. Half at square becomes 0, acceleration. So can I say that Sx is nothing but initial velocity? Initial velocity 50. Time period 2. That means 100 meters. Are yes or no? So what are the coordinate now at t is equals to 2 seconds? Can I say that 100 meter comma and what height is given? We have taken 20 meters. So 100 comma 20 meter. These are the coordinates when height is given. Can we calculate this? Yes, we can calculate. Similarly, they can ask you write down the equation of trajectory for this one. Can we write? All we need to eliminate what? Time. Okay, write down this. We will do the last one. Okay, shall I know? Now we are writing what? Equation of trajectory for this case. They can ask you energy also. Find out the kinetic energy at this point or at this time or at this height. All we need to calculate what? What will be the velocity at that instant? Na? Yes or no? If they are asking the kinetic energy, they will definitely provide you the mass of this object. Yes or no? Okay, let us complete this first. So equation of trajectory. What is happening along x-axis? So displacement along x-axis is nothing but ut. That means, can I say this is nothing but x is equals to ut, or eliminating the time means I have to substitute that x upon u. Yes or no? Similarly, for the y, so y is nothing but uyt plus of half of ay t square. That means I have to cancel this y because in this case this becomes 0. Yes or no? So y is nothing but, can I write minus of half of g t square, that is nothing but x square upon u square. This is nothing but equation of trajectory for this one. Okay? Or for example, they can ask you what will be the velocity when it hits the ground. When it is hitting the ground, we already calculated that 4 seconds. Na? Are yes or no? So let us try to find that velocity also. So Vy is equals to finding what? Find velocity when it hits the ground. Hits the ground. Okay, so let us find that. Now we will find the energy also at that time. Okay, now so it is hitting at what? First you need to calculate what time of flight, and what we got? 4 seconds. That means Vy is nothing but uy minus of gt, and this value is 0. Then can I write this is Vy is nothing but g minus of 10 into 4. That means what we got? Vy velocity is equals to minus times of 40 meter per seconds. Can I? Initial velocity that is not changing in the x-axis. So Vx is what? Vx remains 50 meter per second. Can I say that V is nothing but under the root of 40 square plus of 50 square? कुछ अच्छा वैल्यू बन रहा है क्या? 1600 plus 2500 कितना होगा? नहीं बनेगा? छोड़ दो. So finally this will be the velocity. We can also calculate what will be the velocity if you substitute and calculate and tell me this velocity. So V is nothing but under the root of 1600 plus of 2500, and this is nothing but V is equals to 611, 1 carry 41 आ रहा है ना, under the root of 4100 meter per second. Okay, or can I say 10 root 41? नहीं होगा ना कुछ भी. So V is nothing but 10 root 41. If this is the velocity, if they provide you the mass, all we need to substitute what? For kinetic energy, that is nothing but half times of mv square. Yes or no? At t is equals to 4 seconds, what will be the kinetic energy? This will be the kinetic energy. Yes or no? Solving this, you will be get the answer. Consider mass is 1 kg. If I consider the mass is equals to what? 1 kg, then can I substitute this as kinetic energy is nothing but 5 root 41 meter per second. Sorry, joules. Yes or no? So case 2. Case 2, and the case 2 is projected from height with theta, and this theta is in upward direction. Okay, now आज रक्षाबंधन है ना? Okay. Now projected from height with what? Theta and up in upward directions. Okay. Now consider this is the height of the building, and let's say again 80 meter per second. Sorry, not 80 meter per second, 80 meter. And this object is being projected from here and making an angle, let's say 37 degrees with 50 meter per second. Okay, again, this is your point of projection, that is 0, 0. All the values should be taken as negative in the downward direction, upward positive. Let us calculate first the time period. Okay, using again time period, SY. Yes, very good. So SY is nothing but UYT plus of half of AYT square. Can I write like this? Okay. Now, is acceleration or velocity along x-axis is 0? No. Along y-axis? No. That means, can I say that this time it will be having both velocities in x-axis as well as in y-axis? That means this becomes what? 50 cos 37, and that is nothing but 4 by 5. Then this becomes 40 meter per second, and this becomes what? 30 meter per second. Okay, now all we need to substitute the values here. So SY, what is the displacement? That is what? Minus of 80. Do I need to generalize this now? No, no? Okay, thank you very much. So minus of 80 is nothing but UY, and UY is what? That is what? 30, and it is in upward direction. So 30 into T, we don't know, minus of half of GT square. Can I? Okay, so this minus of 80, which is equals to 30T minus of 5T square. Can I write like this? Okay, rearranging this, and 5T square minus of 30T and this minus of 80, which is equals to what? 0. Now quadratic equation factorize nahi hoga. So 5 1s are 5 6s are, and this becomes 16. So T square minus of 60 minus of 16, which is equals to what? 0. Substituting in the quadratic equation, let's see what we get. Either kar deta hu. A is what? 1, B is what? Minus of 6, and C is what? Minus of 16. Substituting in the quadratic equation, then T is equals to minus B, that is what? 6 plus or minus under the root of B square, that is 36 plus of minus Y, because this is this also minus na. Yes. So minus of 16, then 16, that means 4 into 16, 64, 1. So this becomes 64 upon 2. That means, can I say T is nothing but T is nothing but here 6, and this becomes 10, and divided by 2, 16, that is 8 seconds. So time of flight, we got what? T is equals to 8 seconds. Okay. Now let us calculate the range. How to calculate range? Sx. Very good. So Sx is nothing but uxt plus of half of axt square. Acceleration along x-axis? Always 0. Yes. So this is 0. Left out is what? Range. And that range is nothing but ux. What is the velocity along x-axis? That is 40 into 8 seconds. That is range is what? 320 meters. Similarly, we can also find, they can also ask you to find the Hmax. Now in this case, Hmax is not just the height. Hmax is here. The object will be following this path now like this. So can I say that, consider the object moved here like this. Like this. So can I say that from here to here, this is your height h, Hmax, and from here to here is height h, let's say 80. Already height of the building is given 80. So can I say that here the Hmax will be height of the building, that is Hmax plus of h. Plus of what? H. That will be height of total Hmax from the ground. And we can calculate by using ground to ground equation. Are yes or no? So can I say that to calculate Hmax, we will be using u square sine square theta upon 2g. Can I use this? Okay. So Hmax is nothing but, what is this u sine theta? That is 30 into 30 upon 20 once, and this becomes what? 15. 15 3 45. So H max is nothing but 45 meter. Then total H max, that is bigger H max, becomes what? 45 plus of this 80. That means, can I say 125 meter from the ground? Are yes or no? The next, they can ask you find out the velocity at any time t. They can ask na. So let us find that also. Finding velocity. Find velocity at any time t. Let's say t is equals to कितना है time of flight? 8 seconds है ना. 8 seconds means it will take some time to reach H max also. Find out the time period to reach H max. That is nothing but what? Yes, using the same equation. Full time period कितना होता ground to ground? 2u upon g. Are yes or no? Over there 2u upon g is nothing but 2u sin theta upon g. Here 2u sin theta upon g, but we are calculating to reach just H max from the point of projection. Then can I say that is nothing but ui upon g. What is ui here? 30. 30.10, 3 seconds. Are yes or no? Thank you. So we can calculate, let's say at any time t is equals to 1 second or 2 seconds, जो भी लेना है ले लो. So finding the velocity at t is equals to 1 second. That means, can I say that the body is still going in the upward direction? Can I say Vy and Vx both will be positive this time? Okay. So Vy is equals to Uy minus of Gt, and Vy is equals to Uy is what? 30. Yes or no? Minus of 10 into 1, that is Vy is equals to what? Can I say 20 meter per second? देखो automatically positive हो गया. Vx is what? 40. So Vx is how much? 40. From here can we calculate tan alpha? Yes. So tan of alpha is nothing but 20 upon 40, that is 1 by 2, or tan alpha is equals to tan inverse of 1 by 2. Yes. Similarly, consider it is taking how many seconds? 8 seconds. Na? Let's say find that at 8 seconds. So finding at 8 seconds. So can I say that Vy is nothing but Uy minus of Gt again, and we are finding here for t is equals to 8 seconds. So Vy is equals to Uy is how much again? 30. 30 minus of 10 into 8. So Vy is equals to 30 minus of this how much? 80. That is Vy is nothing but minus of 50 meter per second. Aya. Okay. Similarly, we can also say that alpha here. Why? Because initial velocity ux is 40 now. So Vx remains 40 only. So tan of alpha here is nothing but can I say that that is minus of 50 upon 40, that is minus 5 by 4, or alpha is nothing but tan inverse of minus 5 upon 4. They can also ask you what will be the velocity, at t is equals to what? 8 seconds. Then we can find what? By using v is nothing but under the root of vx square plus of vy square, or v is equals to vx square कितना है रे? 40 square plus of 50 square. 40 square and 50 square कितना होता है? 1600 plus 2500. Again the same value na, 1600 plus 2500, that becomes what? 4100 something कुछ आया था ना? Yes. Okay. Then can I say that here also the velocity is nothing but v is equals to कितना लिखे थे? 10 root 41 ना? 10 root 41 meter per second. Yes, that is the reason I am calculating at final velocity also na beta. I need to show something. So in the previous also we got the same velocity, that is 10 root 41 meter per second. Here also we are getting what? 10 root 41 meter per second. So we can calculate anything at any time, and we can also write what? Equation of trajectory here. All we need to eliminate the time. We can find anything here. Are yes or no? Just we need to remember what are the things happening. All the things above the line are taken as positive, below the line taken as negative. At projectile, this at point of projection should be considered as 0, 0. Are yes or no? And what? All three equations, basic three equations. That's it. Got my point? Now, right now. Okay, shall I now? Now the last case, that is case 3. Projected from height, that to be at theta, but this time in downward direction. Okay, in downward direction. Now, everyone focus on the board. So, shall I now? Let's say, again the height of the building, 80 meter per second. Sorry, 80 meters. क्यों आज बहुत निकल रहा है per second. And consider this is the projection. Again, it is being projected with 50 meter per second and making an angle 37 degree. Can I? Okay. Similarly, this is your ux and this is your uy. So this 37, that means, can I say this one is 40 meter per second, and this time this is minus 30 meter per second. Yes or no? Similarly, can we find time? Can we find range? Can we find hmax? Hmax is here height of the building itself. This time again, we can find velocity at any time. We can find velocity at any height. We can find what coordinate. We can find what energy. We can find anything. अरे yes or no? Just I want to show you. उतना time pass करूँ क्या उतना? नहीं ना? Okay. Thank you very much. So just directly let us find what time period, and then we will be using the same time period for final and substituting and get the velocity. Okay, that's it. So now calculating what time period. So time period for sy is equals to uyt plus of half of ayt square. Can I write like this? Are yes or no? Ui is what? Minus of 30 this time. Sy is also minus of 80. G is also minus. This time all quantities are in negative sign. So minus of 80, which is equals to minus of 30t minus of, can I write 5t square? Can I? Rearranging that, this becomes what? 5t square plus of 30t minus of 80, which is equals to 0. Again, this gets what? 5 1s are t square, then plus of 60 and minus of 16, which is equals to 0. Factorize होता क्या देखो? 1 16. Yes, 8 से factorize होगा. So t square is plus of 80 minus of 2t minus of 16, which is equals to 0. Or can I say that t square t plus of 8, ये गया 8, minus of 2t plus of 8, which is equals to 0. So final time period is what? 2 seconds. Okay. What is the final time period? We got 2 seconds. That means it will hit the ground in just 2 seconds. Now, finding what? Velocity. Finding what? Velocity at t is equals to 2 seconds. Okay. Shall I? Okay, now. So Vy is nothing but Uy minus of gt. Uy minus of gt. And Vy is nothing but, can I say, minus of 30 minus of 10 into 2, or Vy is nothing but, कितना हो गया देखो, minus of 50 meter per seconds. Are yes or no? Okay, now similarly Vx is what? 40 meter per second. Can I say that V is nothing but under the root of Vx square plus of Vy square, or this can be written as V is equals to, again under the root of, that is 10 root of 41 meter per seconds. So now first write this, I will tell you the final conclusion. Okay, shall I now? So now listen to me. From height 80 meter, first we have thrown the object in this direction by 50 meter per second. Yes or no? Second, from height 80 meter, we have thrown with same velocity, that is 50 meter per second, but with angle 37 degree. Yes or no? In the third case, we have thrown the object in the downward direction with 37 degree and कितना से फेंके थे 50 meter per second. Now here we got final velocity v is nothing but 10 root 41 meter. Here also we got final velocity when it is hitting the ground, that is what 10 root 41 meter per second. Here also we got the same velocity, that is 10 root 41 meter per seconds. Can I say that kinetic energy here and the kinetic energy here, when it is hitting the ground, is same? If I consider the same mass, again mass is 1 kg, here also mass is 1 kg, here also mass is 1 kg. Okay, either you throw in the horizontal direction, either you project in the upward direction, or either you throw in the downward direction. One thing is same, whenever it is hitting the ground, the kinetic energy remains same and the final velocity remains what? Same. I got my point? Explain this yourself.